Hey everybody, this is Johnny Van Zant from Leonard Skinner, and you are listening to Music Row with Leak. Can you hear me?
Johnny, I can hear you.
There you go. I figured it out. Yay!
Appreciate
Good.
you taking the time, man.
No problem. I think I'm running a little late.
Well, you're also running on rock star time for the last 60 years or so, right?
I don't know about that. I'm pretty. I like being on time.
I imagine, though, it doesn't matter where you are in your day. You know exactly when 9 o'clock hits because you're probably on stage.
Oh yeah. Yeah, most definitely. 9:15. I know where I'm at.
Speaking of hitting the stage when you're going out and that, do you have like a pregame, like a little bit of a ritual outside of going to the bathroom one more time?
Yeah, bathroom. Don't mess with me. I need to get my head in the ball game. That kind of thing. And I always say a prayer, brother, before I go out. Let me do what you've given me the gift to do.
Do you do the prayer with the band or a few members of the band?
Yeah. Not all of them, because some of the guys come in on the other side, and but whomever's on my side of the stage, usually Damon, new guy Robbie, and the two girls, and most of my crew that's over there.
There's so many members of Leonard Skinner, so many crew members. And at one point, everyone was talking about retirement.
Yeah.
Like talking about shutting it down. And then COVID happened. The most ironic thing ever. COVID happened. And didn't that kind of rejuvenate the band and say, no, we got to go?
We had dates in 2020 was going to be our last year. And then we were going to go out and do, sporadic shows and do some charity stuff. Musicians never retire. They do less shows. We were obligated to finish all those shows when they opened it back up to play. We were obligated already to finish those shows. And at that time, Gary Rosington was in pretty good health. And, he said, man, we took 15 months off, doing COVID. And he said, I don't want to see this end. This is terrible. I love seeing the fans. I love the fans love us. Why are we walking away from it? And, so we went out and finished that, and we all talked, and we said, you know what, let's do what the heck we do. That's what, God gave us to do, and carry on this legacy and the memory of those who are gone on, and let's just keep doing it. And before his passing, he kind of made me and Ricky promise that, hey, we'd be doing this after he was gone. So that's the reason why I'm talking to you today, brother. So, because, hey, I live in Florida. The summer's pretty nice down there.
I get it.
I haven't seen it this year. I've been in Europe, and Johnny Cash, that song Johnny Cash had out. I've been everywhere, man, across the desert. I'm like, yeah, that's been me this year.
Yeah, just nonstop and more touring and bigger shows, bigger stages. Like it's Leonard Skinner and the brand has been revitalized in such a big way, and it's awesome to see.
Yeah, we probably I just got back from Europe a few weeks ago, and we were over there a month. And I would venture to say that was the biggest tour that we've done over there since I've been in the band, since '87. And pretty amazing. Somebody asked me the other day, they said, what's the difference between a European fan or a Canadian fan or a South America fan, compared to an American fan, if you're a Skinner fan? And I went, there is none. I said, they're all pretty much God-fearing, hard-working people that love the music and have connected with that, So whatever language you speak, it doesn't really matter, because we were just over in Europe, and some of those folks don't speak English, but they know how to sing Leonard Skinner songs.
Isn't that something? You can go into countries that don't speak the same languages as you, and they know every word to that 7-minute track that is being played. It's, you're basically teaching another language to people through music.
I know, no kidding. We were over in Japan years ago, and I befriended it was a guy and a girl who were, they were from over there, and Japanese, and whenever I seen them in the audience, they were so cute as a couple that I was like, I want to meet them, So I got one of my guys to go get them, and they were singing every word, but When they got backstage, they couldn't speak a bit of English. I was like, uh-oh, now what do we do?
You guys just had to do duets together.
Yeah,
You know,
I know.
speaking of, COVID, and you get back out on the road, you do the 50th anniversary,
Yeah,
you're at the Ryman, you've got John Osborne, Jelly Roll, this incredible cast of artists who are
yeah,
joining you on stage in one of the most historic theaters in North America.
yeah, yeah.
What is it that, I think that there are more country music artists that have covered Skynyrd in Skynyrd's history than any other genre. And Jelly Roll, I mean, you guys, if you didn't know it, I think that Jelly Roll could have grown up on your street because
He could have.
you're Christian. He's a big believer in faith. His show is, I've seen him play half a dozen times. Every show is like a sermon.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And it's a
Now, you
perfect
know
connect
what?
for you guys.
He wants the best for people because he's seen the worst, kind of like us, and we gotten past that. And it's funny because whenever he came to do the Ryman show, I really hadn't heard of him that much. I heard kind of the name in the business, but I hadn't really checked him out. So I went on the computer and checked out his first song, the Somebody Save Me song. And I called my manager right back, and he had said that this guy wanted to come do this with us at the Ryman. And I called my manager right back, and I said, he's one of us. Yes, definitely. Let him come. He's awesome, And we've become good friends. And my old joke now that he's gotten so big, I said, well, on my spare time, I watched, Jelly Roll's Cars for him,
It's an incredible transition and how
Yeah.
quickly he rose to that level. But
Oh, yeah.
you released that music, you get the live album out, but that was also at a time where you and Donnie were writing an album yourselves.
Yeah, sure.
Still writing, still producing. There's still a motor there. And I heard that you have a whole bunch of extra songs that are still ready to be recorded.
Yeah, me and him want to keep that up. It's been an amazing trip for us. And it happened during COVID because I was off for 15 months. And me and Donnie are not only brothers, but we're neighbors and best friends. And I got a little studio behind my house. And we said, it's been on our bucket list to make a gospel album. And because we're real believers of faith, I think Jesus is cool. And I think you could still rock and roll and love Jesus. Some people get that thing, oh, I can't do that because, I love Jesus. No, Jesus has a sense of humor. He made us all. And,
Very good comment. Very good comment. Have you seen My Neighbor? Jesus made that one too.
But, you can still have fun. You can do whatever, just don't be a heathen, like I used to be. But we started writing and we were just going to do old hymns. But the good Lord put these songs on us and we just kept coming up with them. We got a song called Jesus Christ, and we were back there in the room and I didn't have a guitar, and the song starts out, dum, 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 dum. I grabbed a broom and started banging on it, and we wrote the whole thing with a broom. We might go down in history, okay, writing a song with a broom. But and then I turned it over to Mark Matega, who plays with Skynyrd, and he's just brought the guitar parts to life for us and wrote some stuff on it. And but we've been very blessed. I had a gentleman, I was over in the Czech Republic just recently, and our T-shirt girl over there, our merch girl, came up to me and said, hey, I have a friend who would love to meet you. Well, the guy looked pretty gothic, and I was like, okay, no problem. I don't care if you're gothic, whatever you are, each to his own. And I said, sure, I'd love to meet him. And he came up to me, and the first thing he said, he goes, I'm going to school to be a preacher. And I said, really? I said, oh, 'cause that's the old saying, you can't judge a book by its cover. I said, well, that's wonderful. So we got to talking, and he said, you know what, the reason why I want to go to school to be a preacher because I got you and your brother's gospel album. And he goes, and I want to go where most preachers don't go, and that's in the dark area. And that's what Jesus did. He went in the dark area. He didn't go to the best places to preach the gospel. I thought it was really, really cool. So we've just had a lot of experiences like that. We didn't get into it to become big gospel artists and try to make money. We wanted to touch people's hearts and bring them to Jesus. And our saying was that if we brought one person, then it was a mission accomplished. But I think we've done a little bit better than that on this.
Always Look Up is the album that came out last fall, and maybe some more stuff coming just around the corner. But there's still Skinner tour dates like crazy.
Oh yeah,
you have another 2 months before you get another little break. And I think I believe this because you live in Jacksonville. I believe that you guys are going on tour and staying out on tour throughout the fall because you're just afraid of all the storms that hit Florida at that same time.
Well, I got family down there. I don't wish that on them at all. That's my biggest fear whenever I'm away doing hurricane season. I'm like, because it's happened multiple times. Oh Lord, okay, my house is down there, my family's down there. I got to get home. It's funny. There was one called Irma that came through years ago, and I had a bus driver from California. We were playing Martin, Tennessee, and after the show, I wanted to go home, so I said, "Hey, you mind taking me down to Florida because hurricane's hitting tomorrow?" And he said, "Well, I'm from California. I'd like to see that. I've never seen a hurricane before." So after the show, I went right from the stage to the bus, and we went south. We were like on, Trains, Planes, and Automobiles? I don't know if you've ever seen that. You're going the wrong way.
Yeah, there was probably no one on the road in front of you because everyone's going the other way.
Well, I have my truck parked at the airport, and so he let me off there at the airport to get my truck. And I turned around, I seen him going north, and I called him. I said, "What are you doing?" He goes, "I've seen enough of a hurricane. I'm heading north."
Smart man.
But nah, you know what? This is a great time to play. Summertime's always real busy for us, and love getting out there and seeing the Skinner Nation and playing these great songs. And hey, I'm coming up on 40 years, and it's an amazing thing, but getting back to the Ryman show with Jelly Roll and stuff, man, we had my brother Donnie there. We had Brett Smith from Shinedown there, Marcus King, who's phenomenal. And they're all on this, CD, DVD, and record, and it's just an amazing thing.
I would think, and I believe this for many bands, that their music had saved them.
Right.
It touches people, but I think bands, for a lot of reasons, don't realize how much it even touches themselves. Would you say that Skynyrd's music saved Lynyrd Skynyrd?
Oh, yeah. Yeah. I really do, because after that horrible day in 1977, you got to figure my brother was the alpha dog. He was the father figure. Oh, yeah. And those guys
never said no.
Yeah, those guys lost their dad that awful day, and that was in that band. And most of them were like 24, 25 years old, so they were very young. For them not to have what they had worked their whole life up to that point there with them, and to be able to go out and do that. I took a meeting with them in 86, and I walked in the room, and I knew it was the right thing to do right away, because, it's what they did. They loved and they cherished. And Gary Rosington, Billy Powell, Leon Wilkerson, all those guys, that's what it was all about. And we're still carrying it on for them. Been such an honor and such a pleasure, to go out and see the new fans, because there's a whole new generation.
Isn't it incredible? If it wasn't for the new technologies that come out, the digital service providers, the video channels, everything online. Yeah. Who knows if Skynyrd would still be touring today? But there is a new audience, and you're still filling these stadiums with young people who are in their teens who all of a sudden know all the words to all the songs.
Yeah, you know what? We got an old saying in Skinner, we're 8 to 80.
Quite the demographic. Yeah, this is who we're filling. This is who fills the seats.
Yeah. You see the old ones out there, man. You see the younger ones. It's an amazing thing. We do these amphitheaters during the summertime, and it's almost like a football game, because people get there early. They're playing cornhole, their families, It's an amazing thing.
I have to share a story about a show that I caught just a couple of years ago. It was the tour with ZZ Top.
Uh-huh.
And a number of my friends had done quite a bit of mushrooms. Oh. And everything's going great. And you go into Tuesday's Gone and great performance, And just as you're getting into Simple Man, a buddy beside me goes, "This is where the 500 milligrams of mushrooms kick in."
No.
And I'm laughing. I think this is the funniest thing that anybody has ever said. Like, this is hurting my stomach and so on. Only to have my other buddy turn around who's in front of me and he's got tears running down his face. And now I'm like, the joke, it just keeps on giving. But this is about your music and how much it has touched people. But to see this grown man bawling who's high on mushrooms, it was the greatest thing at a Skinner show.
You boys need to stay away from those. It'll mess with your brain.
I'm just speaking to you. You've touched a lot of souls and it's appreciated by many.
You know what it does. And, I see it firsthand, because I'm in the middle of the stage and I see people crying, singing. And, I get all the time, oh, it was my mother-son dance, at a wedding or whatever. And I just love that. It's a great thing. I always think of what my brother would have said. He would have said, I told you so, I knew we had something here.
Johnny, it's going to be great to see you rolling across the country again. All kinds of dates, playing everywhere again for the 17th time. Lynyrd Skynyrd continues on, and I really do appreciate you taking time out to chat with me today.
Hey, brother, my pleasure, man. You have a great day, and we look forward to seeing everybody.